In this video, I'm going to explain why I think the meme coin Giga goes to $2, which is equivalent to about a $20 billion market cap. It's currently at a market cap of only 115 million. So I believe it'll go much higher from here, almost a 200x. And a target like $2 may seem crazy right now, right? A target of right here, but I'll explain exactly why this is possible under bullish conditions and in a cycle where we see Bitcoin going to 250K, 300K, right? So I'll go into the why this is actually possible in this video. Before I explain why a $20 billion market cap is possible for GigaChad, it's important to understand what is the meme. So it's basically a meme depicting the ultimate male success, and its origin comes from a model called Ernest Kalimov, which looks like this, right? And there's been these edited photos to give the look that most people are familiar with GigaChad, something that looks like this, right? So its characteristics are it has a chiseled jawline, a muscular physique, and a confident smirk. So what is really the meaning behind this meme? And that's what makes it so special and resonate with so many people, is that it symbolizes peak masculinity, dominance, and success. When people think of GigaChad, they associate it with success in all areas of life, right? Clearly physical, as we can see how what good his physique is, but also mentally, right, with having good discipline, financially, success really in all areas of life is what GigaChad symbolizes. Now let's go into the first point, which makes GigaChad really stand out, and that's basically the idea of cultural and brand power. So the meme is iconic. It's recognized by so many people. I think anyone who uses the internet, who uses social media, recognizes this GigaChad face and the GigaChad meme, right? It's extremely recognizable, almost similar to something like Pepe the Frog, right? These are both memes that have garnered a lot of attention and that are really names and memes that everybody is familiar with, right? And if we look at the market cap of Pepe, we can see that when something is extremely viral and known by a lot of people, it can go to very high market caps. As we can see, Pepe is at a 3 billion market cap. It actually went much higher. It's down quite a lot. I think it went to about 11 billion market cap at its all-time high. So that just shows how when something is super recognizable, it can do super well. And GigaChat is really well known, and it currently only sits at 140 million market cap, right? So if it were to achieve the same market cap as Pepe's all-time high, it would be almost 100x from here, right? It would get to 11 billion, right? So therefore, that's a huge plus in terms of what GigaChat has. The meme is iconic and it has millions of engagements over the years. It has millions of views, and specifically in masculinity, self-improvement content. I'm sure a lot of people have noticed that on many platforms such as YouTube, this idea of self-improvement and masculinity for a lot of boys and men has been getting a lot of popularity over recently. And this meme has been thrown around a lot to represent the sort of self-improvement activities that resonate with so many people, right? So now we look at the second point, which is it's the number one masculinity coin. So if we go to CoinMarketCap and we look at some of the memes, the meme coins, we can see that it's clearly the first coin that has anything related to masculinity, to fitness, to self-improvement, which is a huge area as we discussed earlier. The next coin is actually quite far down, and I believe it's the coin Sigma, which is right here, right? Sigma. So these self-improvement coins are have a lot of attention on them and a lot of community behind them. And since there's a clear winner on who's number one, I believe that there will be a lot of capital that will flow into GigaChad, as most of the capital always flows into the number one of something. So it kind of owns the masculinity token niche. It owns the lane almost entirely, meaning that it captures the full attention of men who resonate with self improvement culture. Finally, there's a strong identity and philosophy. So many men see GigaChat as a mindset, not just a meme or not just a meme coin. They believe in this idea of physically, financially, and mentally leveling up. And Giga is actually positioned as the representation of this movement, right? People who buy the coin see themselves as someone who's looking to improve their life and resonate with the message behind GigaChad, right? If we look at some of these members in the Telegram, we see a lot of people are making this their profile picture, right? For example, this person doesn't have it as a profile picture, but it's a bodybuilder on here, right? So people resonate with the message of improving their lives, leveling up, and overall self-improvement. And there's a ton of people who really resonate with what GigaChat has and are willing to make GigaChat a part of their identity, which is key, right? Because GigaChat is so well known and because so many people already know about it, it makes it much easier for it to grow, as people don't have to discover a new concept. For example, if you have friends and family, you can talk to them about GigaChat and you don't have to explain something completely new, right? Especially if you're explaining it to your friends. They already know the GigaChat meme, and all you have to say is, look, there's a coin that represents the GigaChat meme. You don't have to explain something completely new, and that makes the barrier to entry much lower for a lot of newer people coming into the markets and into crypto, right? I mean, if we just look at these other meme coins, for example, we have the Doges, the Shibs, right? If you show something like Bonk, right, people don't really know exactly what this is, and you'd have to actually explain what it was to convince them to buy this coin, right? But for something like GigaChad that's recognizable by the average person, the barrier to entry is much lower, as people already know what the coin is and what the meme represents. And if they identify with those values and those characteristics, they can easily buy the coin, right? So this accessibility matters a ton here, and that's a reason why this meme really has the cultural and branding power that can allow it to go to very high market caps. Now I want to talk about some of the marketing strategy and branding efforts, which is key. So we already established how so many people are familiar with the GigaChad meme, and the total addressable market is very high, as there's half the world's population is men. So now let's go into specifically how this coin is able to capture that attention and transfer that value into the token, right? Because just because something is viral by itself doesn't mean that all that attention and that hype will make its way into the token as real value, right? People taking their Solana and buying GigaChad. So how do they achieve this? Was through marketing strategy and branding efforts. So first of all, it's a brand that stands out, right? It symbolizes extreme confidence, financial success, and peak masculinity. Every visual meme and slogan reinforces this idea and is instantly recognizable in a crowded meme coin space where there's so many meme coins, so many, like if we look at some of the top meme coins, right? There's so many random things like Moodang, Mr. Miggles, Landwolf, Slurf. Out of all this noise, it's something that's recognizable more than any of these other coins and that people already resonate with, and it stands out because of this. So next we have the meme driven virality for explosive growth. So as mentioned earlier, virality is key because it brings eyeballs onto the coin and onto the meme, right? If we look at, for example, on X, we see the amount of content being produced by individuals, and a lot of this is organic content. It means people are just posting about this because they resonate with the meme and they resonate with the message behind it. This is not being people being paid to do this, right? So this is organic marketing from people just wanting to get involved. So this is key because, it creates this like-minded group of individuals who design content to go viral and to bring more people into the movement through Twitter, through X, Telegram, and Discord. So another key aspect of GigaChat is its influencer power and partnerships. So they work with a lot of influencers instead of relying on traditional marketing. They work with influencers who have fitness personalities, finance gurus, and self-improvement content creators. And this helps them because it brings the people from these loyal fan bases into the movement, right? They pick influencers that resonate with what GigaChat stands for. So, for example, here we have a fitness influencer. So, people who work out and follow the fitness influencers are likely to have the same morals and characteristics as people in the GigaChat community. So, that makes the leap from watching the video to potentially buying the coin accessible to these people as they share similar values, right? So this is key because it brings a lot of more people into crypto and into potentially buying the coin. And then finally we have the merch and real world presence. So it's a meme coin, but it's not just a digital asset. They actually expand their marketing efforts through exclusive merch, and it's about, not necessarily you don't have to you by buying the GigaChat merch. It's not just about supporting the token, it's about showing that you're part of this movement, right? That's what's important here. It's not just a token, it's actually a movement about improving yourself and overall just self improvement in all areas of life, as discussed earlier. So you can see that they've actually created a merch line where they sell their own products. And I believe that some of the revenues actually go towards buying back the token itself. So that will also increase the price of the token. And we can see that there's a lot of people buying this merch, right? So overall, this brings a real world aspect and a sense of tangibility to a digital landscape, right? It's not just only digital stuff. There is a physical component that people can actually see, right? If, for example, if you see someone on the streets or maybe even your friends buying the GigaChat merch, it'll increase the amount of attention and the amount of discussions people are having around GigaChat, and then that attention can get circulated into the actual token itself, right? The GigaChat coin. So it's all about creating this funnel where more people resonate with GigaChat, more people know about GigaChat, and then they find the connection to the coin and to the asset, which will allow the asset to go up in price. So now you understand what GigaChat has and why it's such a good meme coin and an asset that can appreciate immensely over this coming bull run to potentially a $20 billion market cap. So what should you do right now, right? So if we look at the GigaChat chart, we can see that it is down quite a bit from the all-time highs, right? Maybe a lot of people look at this coin and think it's dead because they aren't used to experiencing 90% drawdowns. 90% drawdowns are actually very normal when it comes to meme coins, right? These kind of dips are something that GigaChat has already lived through, and it shows the strength of the community. When people, right, still accumulate after 80% dips, it's normal. As we can see, at this point here, we had a 70% dip. Here we had a 90% dip as well, right? So these corrections are normal, and it doesn't mean that the coin is dead. So what should you do now? I definitely think it's a good time to buy now because it is down still. It's down a lot from the all-time highs. And this is because the rest of the crypto market has been going down. And it really makes sense that something a bit riskier and a lower market cap such as Giga Chad, right, only 150 mil, is more responsive a to negative pressures in terms of the crypto market as a whole. But it's also important to remember that when the market starts getting better and we see Bitcoin going to 150K, these lower market cap coins are the ones that are going to explode the most, right? They're obviously higher beta Bitcoin and they move more in the same direction. So, yeah, it's a good time to start accumulating right now, I believe. And I believe this coin will go to $2 and it will do very well this cycle. So, and these are the reasons why I believe this will happen. So, thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments.